Good
Hello.
morning. It is Daytona morning. We got
Oh, that's right.
countdown to Daytona this morning, everybody. So we are super
That's
excited.
exciting.
Super excited. Good morning, both of them. Let me share to latest excited first.
Oh man. So when are you leaving?
Oh, good morning, TikTok. You sound like you have a cold.
No, I'm recovering from what I think was COVID.
Oh, okay.
The last 2 weeks.
What I think.
I started feeling bad when I was in California, and then last week I was sick.
Both of Paradise. You in Daytona, of course. So I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon, right? All right. So welcome everybody. So this is going to be a moving. I will be moving a lot this morning. Because we're actually going to show you some of the tools. And actually, I see a hungry baby retic over here. One of the tools I'll show will be using to show you how to turn this food response off right now, because he definitely wants to eat, because the big snakes ate rabbits last night. And he's like, oh, what's up with my food? Like, he's right here. Like, what's going on? So I'm gonna show that. I will show y'all that. You'll be in Thursday. Okay, we'll get in early. Good morning, Darren. This was Darren's topic choice. You know, executive producer of Two Pieces of the Podcast.
I love it when people message me and give in like topics that they wanna hear about.
Yeah, because it actually, like I said, you know, it might be tools we use are something that we take for granted, right? We don't think about how important that is to other people. And I thought we talk about it. We talk about safety and stuff like that and those different subjects, but we never go over how to actually use them. And how to use them, when Darren said that, is more important than having them. Because you don't use, and I'm gonna show an example of that. You don't use a snake hook to pick up a 16-pound retic. And I'm gonna show you what you do, how you do it, and what you can use that hook for, but not to pick that up.
Right. I see. I don't pick mine up with the snake hook. I do use them with Matilda. But I can't pick her up with one of those. That would hurt.
I see a lot of
She'd
people
probably bend my stick, and then it hurt her as well.
Possible. Imagine 80 pounds on a hook.
Right.
Like on hook and use.
But I do use it to like guide her and like show her, okay, you're coming out, my hand's coming in, don't bite me. But yeah, I wouldn't pick her up with it.
Both now, what you have to do, if you can, you can. If you want to, if you're trying to make it down Saturday, you know, it's many of us down there and you communicate with that we can make sure that happens. I know we'll make it happen. I can simply say both of needs to be here now, and everybody will be like, get the brigades. We might get a jet from Tyler Perry. Who knows? Like, it's both so you just holler.
I'm jealous. I wish I could go. I met Bosa is one of the people I met last year when I went, and he was so sweet.
Bosa is probably the only person in the community that doesn't have an enemy, and if he does, it's the person.
It's not him. Yeah, there's no reason for anybody to have beef with him.
Definitely the person. All right. All right, so let's get this popping. So let's first of all let's do the banner. Let me find it first. Hold on. All right, we said it again. I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to see all my peeps in Daytona. We're going to have a blast as usual. Welcome, Tim. Welcome over. Tim, I love that you call me Miss Nicole, and Tim doesn't call me MS. He acknowledges MRS. He gets it right, Mrs. Nicole. Thank you. All right, so we're going to get started. The first tool that I would like to show, and of course, there's so many tools you could use, you should have, and probably don't. Let me also get my big put on down here. I'm going to show. Let me turn the camera around. I'm going to switch computers. Well, not switch computers. I'm going to turn both of them around. But one computer is actually on YouTube. The other one is actually on TikTok. So, Don D, what's up? I would pop lights on. Can y'all see me okay? But Chala is in breeding. I mean, in lay egg mode. So that's why she's covered up, if y'all notice. So what we do, so I have to come in this room anyway. Let's talk about a tool. This is simple. And all you see is us simply, we just cover up her window. So on this side, this is where she's laying on the heat most of the time when she's preparing to lay. So we come in, we're not startling her. If you know a startled mom, not that she would be because she's so used to, but we just take all precautions. But a startled mom, for those of you who put cameras in your animals' faces when they're in breeding mode, when you startle that mom in a way, she can sometimes become egg bound. She'll stop laying because she'll go into protective mode. So it's very important to be very sensitive to the moms. Now, if y'all want a quick peek at her, I'll let you peek at her. She knows I'm in here at this point because I've been down here for a minute, but I won't keep it down because I don't want the light just right. So you can see she's very alert. She knows I'm here, but she's in mommy mode. You see, she's a little more anxious than she normally would be. Y'all notice how child is like, what you want, mommy? What you want, mommy? And I can open her door, she'll be fine. Just so y'all can see. It's not that she's in any type of mode other than type of mode. She's very curious as to why I'm here, knowing that I normally don't deal with her at this time in this stage. But she's still very much herself. I'm not touching her only because, she's full of eggs. I can try to get TikTok close. I don't know if I'm gonna get them. But if you can see, she's full of eggs in her enclosure, preparing to give birth. So we're not gonna go right now. Tell my baby I love her. I love mama. How you doing? You doing good, mama? Yeah, you doing good. Yeah. You want to come out? No, we don't. I thought you would. Sometimes when they're in this mode, they will come out to move the eggs around, to help them push just like a pregnant woman would, to help them push the baby eggs down. So I'm actually gonna leave her door open for a second because she looks like she just might wanna. Oh no, she put her head back in. So I'll put her back. And pretty much we just like we would use any other animal, we let them decide what they want to do. We're very gentle with her when she's pregnant. We don't handle her as much as we normally would. And she doesn't really engage as much. She's more thinking about getting these babies here healthy and sitting on their heat. So that's one example. But before I do that, this is one tool that I was going to use. I'll show y'all. So with the larger snakes, we have different types of hooks. And I have hooks all around this house. I'll grab for right now, just four that's right in front of me. So, these are hemosticks. These are not supposed to be used to hook an animal, period. Now, you can skillfully use this for venomous snakes. If you have to pick up a venomous snake, you do see some people skillfully use that venomous snake.
Right, but you have to know how to use it.
Right. It's a training curve in it, as you can see. If you don't know what you're doing, you can injure a snake's spine very quickly. What I use this for, this particular one for, is to feed the larger animals. So
I have several different kinds of snake hooks. I don't have one like that. Matilda's the only snake big enough to where I kind of do need that. So that is on my shopping list. I've gotten the rest of my tongs from Midwest.
You don't need this. The only snake I use this for is a burn, and that's Pearl. And that's because Pearl, when she smells food, the moment you open that door, if she's hungry, she's leaping all the way out for that food. And that's the burn.
That's how Matilda is. She even if there's no food, when I open her door, she's coming out hot.
Okay.
So when I have food, it's 10 times worse. And so right now I just like crack her door and I throw a rabbit in. and she goes ballistic. I do need some tongs where I can actually hold in the rabbit. But all my other tongs came from Midwest Tongs. I haven't looked to see if they have any like that. But if not, what's another reputable company where you'd get
all
one
of my
like that?
tongs come from Midwest, except for anything I bought in person. This is from Midwest.
Okay, perfect.
Now I don't know if Midwest is they because they supposed to be going out of business this year.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. Oh my God. Okay. No, why? I hate that.
I don't know if it's selling to somebody else or going out of business because they had this real big sale, like a going out of business sale.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that sucks.
Yeah, so but most I have like only a handful in the other room that's not from Midwest, and I got them from probably like Henley or somewhere like that. And they're really, really good. But yeah, I use this, and this is like a long arm. Her cage, as you can see, is all the way over here. Let me see if I can turn this around. Bluetooth. That's my pocket. Oh, there she go. So I'm standing all the way over here. She's over there. She already ate. She has a big rabbit in her. She ate yesterday. But I would literally stand here, and I am almost on the other side of the room. This is 50 inches long, I think. It's either 42 or 50. I think it might be 50. And I'm standing over here. I would take the rabbit. Now, the rabbit is too heavy for this. So I'm only taking a rabbit to pick it up and push it to her because she's coming out. It's like a meet and greet. And I give it to her, and she snatched it already. So I don't have to hold it and wiggle it because it's not strong enough to wiggle a rabbit. So that's what I was saying. You really don't need it. I use it more to give it to her. Hey, here you go.
What I do is whatever side of the cage Matilda's on, I go to the opposite cage and I try to throw it in as quickly as I possibly can.
So that's how I am with all my
retics. Fast.
All the retics are trained to eat from this side. I mean, that side. So if I go in, I'll pull this side over and put it in. They'll eat from this side. The berm doesn't care what side I'm coming in. If there is food in my hand, that's what I tell y'all when people say berms are better than retics. They're not. Retics are so much more smarter. So I'll use Pearl for example. She's raised with all these retics at the same time, handled the same way, all of that. And her food response is so heavy when there is food. Like she has none. I can go in here right now with no food in the room. She doesn't have any type of food response. She don't care. She won't come out. But if I bring a rabbit in this room right now, you won't see not one retic react to it. You will see her immediately when that door open come flying out for that rabbit. So, and that's both burns. And that's both. Let me say that. So that's why when people are parading the fact that retics, that boas and berms are better than retics, what do you mean? Are berms easier to handle? No. A big berm is heavier than a retic, y'all. A long retic is way more manageable than a heavy berm. Do you mean that in the sense of if you have a retic who's not properly raised? Maybe. But most retics naturally, and this is another thing, I don't even think it has as much to do with if it was properly raised or not, as I used to think. Most retics, hey Phil, once they get older, calm down, unless they were not raised properly. So yeah, I don't think that that's an important. I'm gonna run through these two and Morgan, you can come on. So you see this hook, almost the same size. Well, not really. One of them is actually shorter. This one I use for the boas. It's longer and it's different from the one I use for the retics because I'm only concerned with turning off the boas food response. And I don't even use this end for the boas. I use this end to be honest. All I want is to put your head down. I'm coming in. They typically when I do that, they know I'm coming in. My dwarf retic, this is the only one I use this for. The dwarf retic, unlike my main ones, have a crazy food response. So If I go and open her door, he thinks it's food coming first. Now she will, if I stand back, she'll hesitate. But I expect all of my retics to lay flat down, just like these retics do when I open the door. Right now, this retic is asleep. He's knocked out. He's gonna wake up as soon as I open this door because he's full, but he's not gonna lunge out at me. He's still laying down. He will lay right here. Y'all see? He heard me tap. Then you see him coming up. He's not lunging at me. He's right there. He's not lunging at me. Right now, food response already turned off. You see me touch him. Y'all see me touch him. This is how all of my big retics are. Every one of them. I never, ever use a hook for them. I don't care if they in shed. I don't care if they got babies in them or anything because of the relationship we built when they babies. He's spoiled. So literally, they'll tell you never touch a retic right out of sleep. Y'all saw that. Yes, you can. If your retic don't think that you only come in here to feed them. So the bigger ones, I'm in there and they there all the time. So going back to the dwarf, it's different. The dwarf is not out roaming as much as they are. They are a little
right. Out of all mine, the retics are the ones that I can go in and touch while they're sleeping. The scrub, the white lip, my king snake. I can't mess with them.
In a little bit with the ball pythons that you cannot just do that with baby ball pythons. I'm gonna show you a row of blackheads who will be coming out when I go in there into that other room. So Morgan got a perfect example. My retics is the only animals, my big retics anyway, the only animals. The only one I cannot do that with is the dwarf. And I'll go in that room later and show y'all. Morgan, you can go ahead.
You have a lot more.
We'll be going in here forever.
These. I know. The main things that I use, I have several different. Let's see if I can. I have several different kinds of snake hooks, and I have them all over my room.
TikTok. We are live on my YouTube.
But
you guys want to come over there and see the full show. But if you want to stay and focus on me, that's fine too. You'll be able to see the snakes at least. Go ahead.
So this is the one that I primarily use. It doesn't retract or anything. Some of them do. I do have one that's thicker. They get placed all over this room because I use them for various different reasons. Yep. And like Nicole said, like I don't really ever pick the snakes up with them. It's mainly a tool to communicate with my snake. If I come in one of my snake's enclosures with this, if I come in there with these tongs, they're gonna start striking. They're gonna expect food, even if I don't have any food, even if they don't smell any food, they're gonna start striking. So when I come in with this, when they see this, they know they're not getting fed. It's not an issue. So I'll normally come in, tap them with this, like rub their back for a second. And they're usually fine. Or if I need to if I'm like trying to catch like the back end of their tail or something, because some of mine are getting kind of long, I can hold on to like the front part of their body and then grab the back end with this, but I never use this to support their body.
Exactly.
So that I have these everywhere. I also keep one of these in my car. The one I keep in my car though is retractable. It ends up being like this long, but you can pull it out to like 7 feet. I took my car to the shop the other day and it fell out. I was having it serviced. It fell out and I had to put it back. I keep it in the door of my car for finding snakes in the wild and also for protection because the point, it is kind of pointy. It would hurt like hell if somebody hit you with it. So the car mechanic was like, what the hell is that? So I explained it, which was interesting. So I use a snake hook. I use these tongs for feeding. I have another pair of tongs that I use for picking up poop, pee, that sort of thing. I also have a heat gun that I come in and like check everybody periodically. Like we've been having a lot of like work done on the, like there's been linemen like all up and down around our neighborhood for the last like 6 weeks. So sometimes our electricity goes off, or sometimes like Matilda will get behind the enclosures and accidentally turn off the strip that controls all the heaters in the room. And so I just go around in their enclosure and like I point this and it tells me the outside temperature of whatever it is I'm pointing at. And it came in handy the other day. I fed everybody the other day, and the next day I came out and my scrub, who's normally always hiding, was out in the middle of her enclosure, just balled up, sitting there. And I went in to check. I was like, oh God, like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. She's not acting normally. So I went in there, did the heat gun on something, and realized she didn't have any heat. Checked Antonio, he didn't have any heat.
Hey, Fanny.
Matilda had gotten behind the enclosures and turned off the heat strips, but since I had the temp gun, I was able to figure out the problem pretty quickly, figure out who has heat, who doesn't. So it comes in handy, especially for like a quick, super quick check. That way I don't have to go and open up every single enclosure and do all the things. One other thing, I bought a sprayer to like spray down my enclosures to try to keep humidity up and stuff. I don't use that anymore.
Especially
I get a pitcher, just a $5 pitcher from Kroger, holds 3 liters of water. I fill this up with water and I just pour it in the bottom of their tanks. Everybody has substrate in their enclosure, so the substrate pulls it up. But with how many snakes I have and how big my enclosures are, that little sprayer was not. I'd be here all day misting.
You shouldn't miss your PVCs at all.
No, normally I don't, but sometimes like my kids will come in here and get snakes, or the doors will get cracked open, and I only have to put water in like maybe
Good morning, Tawana.
once every 10 days. And it's nothing, I don't know, but as often as I'm in here and like letting the snakes out or doors get left open, that sort of thing, humidity does go down quite a bit. So I go in there about once every 10 days and just refill everything, moisten the substrate, move things around.
Now moving stuff around, well, most of the time your retics do it, but moving stuff around is a practice that most people don't respect. That's the way to keep a overload of moisture and mold spores by moving the stuff to move the air underneath of the stuff that is sitting on. So that's something that but normally
the retics are normally fine, but my white lip, I have to go in there and move stuff around about once a week because he requires higher humidity and things will get moldy if I don't move it around. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm only doing this for me. Like I'm not breeding anything like that. I've thought about breeding in a couple of years, maybe, especially after these black racers were hatched. It was a fun process. I did learn a lot. I made some mistakes with it, but I did learn a lot with hatching them out. And there are several things that I wish I would have had for that process. But it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Gotcha. Trying to think. Okay, I'll do the camera, then I'm gonna show you how to turn off this Hungry Baby's food response with one of the smaller hooks. So this is one of the camera systems I use. This is a little smart. He looks like a little robot and do acts like a little robot. So this is the one. Well, I have 2 different camera systems that I use. I use the Little Smart camera system and I use the Wise camera systems. I think the Little Smart is more sensitive to the big snakes. So I like to use this one because you can alter that motion sensitivity and stuff, because retics move all the time at night. So I don't want it to constantly disturb me. But when I'm out of town, when we travel, and I have my nephew and my son here who keeps the snake, this is what gives me comfort. One of the things, there's cameras all around this house. You'll see when I go in the other room, garage and stuff like this. But this is the one that's watching the big snakes, the ones who have the ability to break glass if they want to and stuff like that. That's the ones I'm worried about. So it also, like, it's one in Charlotte's cage right now. So instead of me trying to pull this paper down and everything, the one over there will tell me or show me if she lays her eggs. And I have the motion in the one in her cage turned off because I don't want this camera disturbing them either. Because your snakes and your lizards know these cameras exist. They understand something about, especially with your water monitors. What's going inside of this, they know. Like, they know this thing gonna have to move. If you say something, for example, notice how they look at the lighting. Your monitor will start to focus on the lighting changes. Y'all don't even see the lighting changes. You got to get close. It goes from like red, blue to white. I had to go see what he was looking at one time. Inside this thing, the colors be changing. And so the water monitor is just staring at it. He's putting his tongue on it. So these animals teach you so much. So they're very in tune to these. So if you have a very sensitive animal, I say turn the motion down if you have this inside the enclosure. But this one just sits in this room. So if anybody moves, the robot will focus on that movement. He'll instantly focus on that movement. If anybody gets out, it's going to say, it tells you if it's human movement or animal movement. That's another thing I like. The Wise camera will do that too. The Wise camera will tell you human movement. Like, for instance, if I'm in my bed and that garage camera says human movement, I'm human moving to my GUN, okay? Because there should be no humans in my garage in the middle of the night. Those when ain't there, my son ain't in there. I'm the only one who goes in there.
Right. That's how my outside camera is. It'll tell us a car has pulled up, a bicycle has pulled up, there's a child in the driveway.
Exactly. So human movement in the garage in the middle of the night is going to get you popped. I don't care if you BG and E. You should have told us you was coming. But I like this one for that. Now, this one, like I said, is extra sensitive. I would not put this one in like my cow, in my cow's enclosure or in Hefe's enclosure, because the two of them move all the time. They've been wrap this thing up and broke it, squeeze it to death or something, whatever.
I don't think Nikita would do that. She's always like wrapping around her heater, and lights. Ugh.
Then I'm going to show y'all real fast. This is one of the smaller hooks that I use with the smaller retic to turn off the full response, or I can use this puller, because again, I just use this handle part that I use for the ball pythons. So this I use for the baby ball pythons. When I go for their enclosures and I pull them open, because you will get those ball pythons that just act like retic babies, and you're gonna be out the way because they be right there and it's coming like so I do use that. And this one is for one of the baby retics. So I'm gonna turn this down. He is on full food mode. Like I said, he smelled rabbits last night, and he's like, "Well, where am I?" Oops, sorry, TikTok. I'll get y'all back up in a second. Let me turn this around. Yeah, I need it to be. Back up here. Let me sit this a second. Take them out. Movie, you can see. Like, this is actually that normal retic. I tell you this.
Say what?
The normal retic that I love. One of the babies. One of your baby sisters.
Nikita. You want me to get Nikita out? I love her. She's my favorite. My oldest son comes in
every time
at least 4 days a week, and he's like, "Can I get Nikita out?" He takes her in his bedroom, and she doesn't even explore the bedroom anymore. She sits on he has a shelf above his bed. She sits on the shelf and watches him play Fortnite.
See, I love it when they find it spot.
Yeah, it's like and it's every time, like when he first started bringing her in there, she would, explore the room. Antonio still explores it, but she She's like found her spot. Like that is his bedroom is like her second enclosure at this point.
Yeah, so my makeup room is there for the cow. The cow comes out like she might come out right now. The door's open. I see her when come out. She's gonna go right up in the makeup room, and she will stay there all day if she can.
So most everybody, I think everybody in this chat knows. I got this baby from Nicole a little over a year ago. She hatched out in May of last year. She's
May 11th. What's her
May
birthday?
11th. She's over 7 feet. She's not power fed. So I saw somebody on Facebook saying that about somebody with a 6 foot 1 year old retic.
No, let me tell y'all something. When someone, I can only speak to my bloodline. Y'all lucky that it didn't get 10 feet in the first year like his mama did, who was not power fed. The child was 10 feet in year 1, and she stopped growing after year 1. She slowed down, so she went to 14 lower than she went to 10. So I said to everybody who, and if you go on my market, you see.
Right. But what I said, so this was in response to somebody else. They had like a 10-month-old retic that was 6 feet long, and they were like, "Oh, that's because you're power feeding it." And I commented, it had nothing to do with me, but I commented anyway because I was like, "No, I have one, and I know all the sisters to it. All hatched the same day, same parents." And every single one of them are growing differently, and they're all on pretty much the same feeding schedule.
And I'm ready to show you a perfect example of that. I am the mama of them all, right? I'm going to show you the smallest one out of their clutch. And he eats the same, fed the same, like every other animal that we have. And you'll see that some of them are way bigger. But he's still long. He's just not as thick as the other ones. That's the same age as he is. But he's highly food driven, as you can see. I actually probably should use the longer hook right now because he is right here, right here. So if y'all can see his head, sometimes what I do is I make a stick off of himself.
He's coming out.
You see him? There. I like for them to use their brain. So really right now, if I tamped him, I would be safe. You can see. Like he's turning his full response on. All right, so I'm not going to pick him up with that hook though. Y'all see that? I'm with my hand. Now this baby is. And
is that from the same? That's from the same clutch.
Y'all, I'm gonna show you the one next to it, and it eats the same. Doesn't eat no differently than the one next to it. The one next to it is gonna be more like Nikita. So to her point. This animal is, if you stretch him out, he is about 6 feet. I mean, she is about 6 feet, but she's not as thick as the one I'm gonna show you next. And they're from they clutch mates.
Yeah.
But so if you see, I use the hook only to just reinforce the food response on this one. I don't pick it up with that. Like even the small one, don't pick it up with the hook. You don't pick it up with this hook. You pick it up with your hand. The hook is only an extension of your hand at first contact if you don't know how to read the body language.
You're supposed to use it to assist, not for 100% support handling. Yes.
Right. And your animal will hate you for it if you do. I'm jumping this real big. Yeah, your animal will hate you coming in and get them if you pick up the way he doesn't come. So
that's how Nikita is. Like every time I feed her, it adds another few inches to her body.
Well, the reality of it is that retic grows every time you feed it, and that's why you shouldn't power feed. Because you'll have adults that look like Jim Brewer's unhealthy babies, and not adults that look like T'Challa and Hefe. Hefe is a big boy. That's as big as a retic should be in width, for as thickness. For as length, he probably get another inch. He will definitely be that one that gets 18 to 20 feet. He won't stay at 16. I know that for sure. But Chala's done. Chala has not moved past, even as a breeding mom, she stayed around that 14, 15 for the last 2 years. She has not grown not an inch that we can tell anyway, you know. You can't really tell perfectly, but you can't. She doesn't look any bigger than she was then. So that's the tool. What else did I want to show y'all? Oh, let me go into the other room real fast. Let's see how the easiest way for me to do this is going to take this whole thing. So give me a second. TikTok, if you use what, it's going to come right next to once I get to the other room. Bear with me.
It's funny. I try to sit with Nikita, but she's gotten so long to the point where she can be like on my shoulders, whatever, and her tail is doing something completely different. And she ends up like wedging herself like underneath my legs or whatever. She's one that likes to stay like in my business all the time. She's gonna come up, see what I'm eating, see what I'm drinking.
Yep.
See what I'm talking to.
So that's why some days y'all see me not come in this room to do the podcast, because if it's days that I want to make sure that they stay, you know, sleep a little longer, I don't come in here, because the moment I come in here, there's certain ones that's just going to want to come out.
Mm-hmm. That's how Matilda is, but she gets in trouble. I can't have her out during the podcast because she requires so much
attention,
supervision.
Yeah.
She comes in and she's like, you're going to pay attention to me, and she'll just be knocking shit over. Nikita just wants to live with me, like on my body all the time. Antonio's pretty he's pretty mischievous too.
I forgot.
It's fun. I love how like different they all are.
They all are different. They're all are different. And one way
why is that doing that?
But different, you know.
What? I'm sorry. My computer is like trying to answer my. Good Lord. Hey, Maki. Hey, Keys.
Hey, bro.
Oh, man.
Hey, Maki.
So some other stuff that I keep in here that's not technically like reptile related. It's more like sanitation, hygiene, things like that. But I always keep paper towels. I have a trash can in here that gets changed weekly, even if, nothing much is in there. I keep hand sanitizer, things like that. And I also have I have a big cabinet in here that keeps extra little enclosure things if I have to hold something. So I have a king snake. So if I have to go in and she's, not acting right, I have these little cheap things I got from Amazon. It's a pretty strong magnetic thing, and she can't open it, but I'll place her in there and do whatever I need to in her enclosure. I like to switch things up in all my enclosures every once in a while. So I keep extra wood, rocks. And I'm not talking about little bitty rocks. I'm talking about big rocks. And I keep everything in this cabinet over here. Basically just supplies, extra stuff, extra heaters, and whatever, just to have it on hand, because I don't want to be put in the position of needing something emergent and not being able to have it on hand.
Exactly.
So my goal is to lose the cabinet so I can replace it with 2 8-foots, but I'm dreading losing the storage space because it is crucial to have things on hand like that. But I have a lot of other storage spaces in my house. I like having everything in my reptile room. No. But since I have retics and they are going to get bigger, I am going to have to replace it with more 8-footers. So we'll just make do.
All right. I think, did I switch rooms? Yeah. Here, let me see if I have to.
Is Elias in here? I didn't see him come in.
I've been moving around. I haven't even seen.
I'm seeing several people say Elias, but I don't see him. Well, good morning, Elias. Good morning, Keys and Maki and Tim and everyone else. I am not great about reading the chat. Like, I see it, but it's normally like when Nicole's talking and I don't want to interrupt, but I see everybody that come in. I have paint scrapers of all different sizes. That's a good one too. I've had to do that in the past. I currently don't have any that I really need it with, but I had a male ball python last year. And he, for some reason, he would poop all on the backside of his wall. And so every time he pooped, I'd have to go in with a paint scraper. And before I got the retics, I kept saying, like, nothing poops quite like this thing. And everyone's like, oh, wait till you get the retic. Wait till you get the retic. No, the retic poop is a lot easier to handle than that little ball python's messes. He was something else. But paint scrapers, that is a good, that's a good one. That's not something I think a lot of people would think about.
Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready. All right. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff I use in this room because this is the baby room. So I'm just gonna go over a few because y'all be here forever if not. But since Morgan was talking about a lot of cleaning stuff, of course you always keep some gloves in that. Now, I don't use gloves as much in my other room. Those are my animals. It's much easier for me to clean shit without them, I'm being honest. But over here in this room, when I deal with the rats, when I deal with any of the babies, I always use gloves. This is the room where I'm so extra cautious, and this is because these are the animals that I'm going to reproduce, and some of those offspring do go for sale. A lot of them are held back, but I need them to be healthy too to do what I need them to do for my future project. So, biohazard is big for me. If you come in this room, if I let you come in this room, because other than my nephew, if you own snakes, you don't get to come in this room. That's just, I'm not gonna lie, you ain't gonna get a chance to come in this room. The only person who has been able to visit and come in both rooms is Sean. Sean has been in both rooms. He's been in every animal room here, the garage and everything. So shout out to Sean. But I keep hand sanitizers everywhere in this room. Like they all in hand reach. If I can reach the one over there, I can go grab that one for you too. But everywhere I go in this room is some form of hand sanitizer in here. Also, there's always bottles of water. Now, do I 100% give my all of my snakes spring water? Absolutely not. Don't even think I do that. Those ones over there, those pets get tap water. Babies and animals that I sell get spring water, and that reason is just being because I know that the spring water is more purified than the water that I have in this house because there's no purifying system on my water system in the house. But the animals that I keep and live with me and they're going to be my pets forever, they drink what I drink. And I'm convinced that these animals will be fine too. It's just that, we always have bottles of spring water in here. Why not?
So for the chat, if you're in the chat and if you have something that you use that you don't think is like a common thing to use in like for your reptiles, drop it in the chat. I want to see what other kind of things people use, because Darren had a good one with the paint scraper.
I didn't hear that. I had one in my hand, so I keep a paint scraper, especially for the retics. I don't need it too much. I use the little red line one for this room, and then I use this because most of the ball python poop in this room, this can just get scooped up with.
That's what I need for the retics, especially Matilda. She poops. She doesn't poop in one spot. Like she poops all along like the back wall. So I have to fucking like go inside her enclosure So she'll pee like near the front, and then she poops all along the back wall. And I'm just like a cat litter scooper thing would be. I need to get one of those. That's what I'm gonna do today.
So Maki, actually, let me go grab it. Hold on one second.
White vinegar is good. So I use white vinegar for everything. I cook with it. I do laundry with it. I get stains out with it. I disinfect with it. And I've seen a lot of other people use like different like cleaning products and things like that. Especially when it comes to my animals, I try so hard not to use chemicals. Even if they say that they're safe, I will come in and use vinegar.
I am convinced that you should
I know that's safe.
be using certain chemicals at all. And I'm gonna tell you which one that a lot of people use. And it's not to be argued for me. It's never been used in my collection in 35 years. It never will be. It's the F10. That's too strong for reptiles. And a lot of people use it. I've never had a respiratory infection over here, ever in 35 years.
I had one, and that was when I got Matilda. She came with the RI. Other than that, I've never had an issue.
This is what I use to clean the most. This is one of the most long-term and effective sprays. It's made reptile safe by Zoomad forever. This is really all I need to clean. However, to Maki's point, just being a girl raised by a mom who was raised in the ghetto, vinegar cleaner normally follows. And we know that's safe. This is diluted in a way for animals as well. This is off of Amazon, and it's made by a clean company called True Living. I use this. This is also vinegar cleaner. So if I have a retake cage that I've already washed with dishwashing soap and water, and I've already sprayed it down with my Zoomad cleaner, I might go behind it with this, but this is as strong as it's going to get. I am not a fan of F10 or any of those strong chemicals in reptile cages. I do believe that people have killed their animals inadvertently by using it.
I started getting, we used to spray our house for bugs and things like that. And we don't do that now. I'll let my husband spray the outside of the house. We're not spraying the inside because we have dogs. I don't want them to like roll over on something and then bring that into the reptile room I don't want it in the house. I don't like the chemicals.
Hey, TikTok. So just so y'all know, I'm on my YouTube. Lady T's Exotics on my YouTube. I do a Monday morning podcast with my co-host, Miss Exotic. So we are here. So if I didn't answer anything from this chat, I'm just coming back to the good morning, Kat. I'm just glancing back and forth. But feel free to watch. You'll see what's going on, and I will come back here. Back and forth. But yes, I was born and raised in Cherry Hill, to be very specifically. I left Baltimore in 91, and I've been in the DMV area. Well, I went to Ohio for a while, a couple of places, and came back to the DMV area, and I've been here for over 20-something years. But yeah.
So Darren had another good point. He said he uses hair dryers to heat up frozen thawed rats. That's it. I don't have the patience for it. I will pull stuff out of the freezer and let it sit for a few hours. And then I'll put it in warm water towards the end of the day.
I still use the hair dryer and this is how I use it. So on most hair dryers, you have a little thing where you can actually put like a hook and hook it. So what I do is, because I had a patient for it either, only for my baby. Once, because like a lot of my other, like that's not my baby ball pythons, they don't care about the temperature. They'll eat it room temperature and be fine. But with my baby ball pythons, I'll just lay them all out, take the hair dryer and like let it hook, turn it on, let it heat while I'm doing whatever I'm doing for like a minute and start feeding. Turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it back until they all fed. Because what you want to be careful with the hair dryer, especially with baby ball pythons, is that you couldn't make that rat too hot. So any of my animals, once they take a frozen thawed without hesitation, they never get any other type of feeding. You are a frozen thawed eating animal for the rest of your life from that particular point on. I'm not heating nothing up. You took it cold. You took it room temperature. We're not heating nothing up anymore. Thank you very much. We've moved on gradually.
Right.
But yes, the hair dryer is perfect for, especially for new keepers who are trying to get your animals to go from live to frozen thaw. They need that heat sensitivity. And typically all you got to do is heat the first third, maybe the head down to the shoulders up to like about 89 degrees, and it'll work. I wouldn't go too much warmer than that. 5-gallon buckets always come in handy. Yep, I got them all around here. I got one right here too. This is where I dump most of, like if I'm in this room cleaning real fast, instead of bringing, because I also have a really big, I'll show y'all. Keep a very big industrial size trash can like this one from Uline. So that is where all the animal trash, whether it's feces, paper, substrate, whatever goes in here. And this is empty like every other day compared to our house trash, because there's not that many people in here. That trash don't get too full. This one gets full quickly daily.
Yeah, I take out my trash quite often, especially if somebody's pooped and it's awful. But most of the time, like they all poop pretty much. They're pretty much on the same schedule. So I change it like every 5 days, but it also has like an airtight lid on it, so no like smells or anything is coming out. This a lot of people say, like when they come into my house and they know I have all these animals, they're always so surprised. They come in and say, "Oh, your house doesn't smell bad. Like your reptile room doesn't smell bad." And I'm like, "It's not supposed to."
Your rat room shouldn't smell bad. Like seriously, like you should clean behind your animals. So that's the same thing here. People be like, "Oh, sometimes come in like, well, where they at?" You're standing right in the room with them. There's no way on this level you can go and there's not an animal. So you're standing right there with them. You just won't know. Just real fast. So especially for people who keep larger snakes who sometimes will break a tooth. I keep Benadine here. So if you ever had, it's only happened once. If you ever have a snake that breaks a tooth, this is a quick way to, I go in my snake mouths. I will pull a tooth if it's loose. I'm very comfortable with doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. If that's the case, it doesn't bother me. But you still want to make sure that you put some Benadine or something on it to prevent infection if you had to do it. Very rare. I had to do it one time with one of the boas because she struck the glass, or he struck the glass when he was eating. And broke his tooth. I like to get a broken tooth out fast so it doesn't create abscess. And it's easy to pull it if you manipulate the head correctly. You got to know what you're doing. So I don't recommend doing it. I just know what I'm doing when it comes to that.
I'm not doing it.
If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to piss your snake off, and it's something that's really quick. The other thing is Manukan honey. Manukan honey is perfect for natural scratches, burns. Not that your snake should have any of those, but I use it also. But
it does happen.
I mean, if it happens, yes. But I definitely use this for tooth stuff too. So
that's a good idea.
This is the best for us. Manukan it tastes good, because if you don't know, snakes hate. That's why a lot of times your doctors want you to give them injections and not compost, because they know that the snake hates the taste of things. For some reason, Manukan is not nasty to them. They love it. The Manukan honey, well, they don't love it. It's not nasty.
It's not nasty.
Yeah, it's not nasty. This little bottle though was like $50. Off of Amazon, but it's worth it.
I need to keep that on hand, especially with the retics. They get into so much. About a month ago, Nikita, who is one of my most well-behaved snakes, she even got into some trouble. She ripped down one of her lights, got her burned herself. It had stuff happens, especially when you have snakes that size. They have the capacity to do shit. The Betadine is one thing. That's the first thing I got when I got snakes was I keep Betadine on hand. I soak them with it. I did have a snake end up like trying to drink it.
Lord.
That was a special circle. That was
But
a
that's
special
one of the reasons why Benadine is good. I mean, because of course, he drank the whole bottle, it can kill him, but Benadine is used on the inside of the body surgically as well.
Mhm.
So he'll be okay. Ball python breeders, I don't care what y'all say or what nobody say, Da Vinci boa. Let me tell you how I use Da Vinci boa. Da Vinci boa cured the cow. So remember, the cow was going back and forth to the doctors because they couldn't figure out why she was having the issues she was having. When I gave up on him, well, I can say I gave up on him. Let me not say that about my doctor. But when my doctor get to the point, like, ain't nothing wrong with her medically. Like, her blood is fine. We don't know what the hell wrong with her. Blood is fine. I started giving her Da Vinci boa, which I will only use for my ball python males during breeding season to keep them humping, and energized. This is what cured the cow. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it kept her calmer in her enclosure or whatever and kept her from injuring her mouth. But this Da Vinci boa, y'all see, is almost gone. I hit a whole bottle. The cow was cured with Da Vinci boa.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't care what nobody say. It's something about the vitamins in this Da Vinci boa, something about the whatever he used to build it that does something for the gut health, I'm assuming, that improves the overall health of the animal. I've used this on her. Also, y'all remember when I first got which one do I call my super breeder now, because he breeds everything. My super OD yellow belly banana odium had pie from Aussie. When Aussie sold them to me, Aussie was like, girl, he ain't ate in 6 months. He bred, he just stopped eating. I don't know. I'm like, Aussie, I can get anybody to eat. Aussie, I get the snake. 2 months later, the snake still wasn't eating. Gave him some Da Vinci boa. Week later, he was eating, and he ain't stopped breeding since. So I am a person who can say I don't use it for all the animals, but when there is a reason to use a Da Vinci boa, and I have used it, it has switched the result for that animal. I'm going to live and die by Da Vinci boa. In fact, when I go to Daytona this week, I will come back with 2 more bottles.
Darren said a second refrigerator. That is a must, especially when you have so many.
Yep.
My outside freezer is filled to the brim with dead rodents.
So
and
we
chickens.
have one freezer for all the smaller stored bunnies and stuff like that, but the big rabbits are in that big deep freezer, which I store them the most because you can get most animals, rats and all that stuff if you ever need it. If I stop producing, I can get rats and stuff like that, which you're not going to be able to do, and which I'll never breed is rabbits. So every time I go to a show or anything, I always bring rabbits. So what I store the most is rabbits and guinea pigs. So if it's a rainy day and somebody doesn't have them or whatever, I will have a couple months supplies of it. So I do keep those as well. Then I'm gonna turn this around to show y'all how I use the pull up on the ball python, and I'm gonna show y'all the sonogram too. Hold on, one second. Put this back. Girl, don't you go in this cage.
So I'm going through all these comments. I see now, Darren, where you said you don't want the rats next to the chitterlings. That's funny. Yeah, I definitely second a second refrigerator freezer for things like that. Even though I have frozen meat and stuff in my everyday freezer, I'd feel so fucking weird if I opened it up and saw a dead rabbit next to my pork loin or whatever I have in there.
Yeah, my thing. It's a mental thing. And honestly, that dead rabbit is cleaner than that dead chicken. That dead is cleaner than that dead steak. It's just that how he was raised mentally. It's animal food. I'm the same way. I just have it next to the fruit that we're gonna be putting in. It didn't work for me either. I feel you on that for real.
Right.
It's the mental thing. All right, so let's turn it around this way real fast.
So when I got my last shipment of Rodent Pro stuff in, I had it sitting on the kitchen counter before I opened the box, and somebody was like, "That's disgusting. You have that like in your kitchen." Like I have meat in my kitchen all the time. It's no different. It's not like these are like wild caught rats out of New York City.
Right. You didn't get them from the sewer.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it with the main one. I bet you he's right here. Let me see if y'all can see. So typically, baby ball pythons, you can just go ahead and open shit, right? Like this one. You can just open it. She just chilling. She going to go and shed. Hi, mama. Open it. Just chilling. Go and shed. He just chilling. All right. Just chilling. Although this one can be a little bitchy sometimes, but she's not today. She's just chilling. All right. But this one, I can guarantee you, when I open it, unless he dead, he jumping. Look at him. Look at him. He got see? He's right there. He's right there. Y'all probably can't. He always right there, ready for the smoke.
Which one is that one?
That's one of the brand new babies.
I can't see you.
Oh, hold on. Let me put this. He's right there. All right, let me see if I put this. Let me take. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. TikTok wants me to fix the puzzle. You see him now?
No.
That's crazy, Morgan.
I'm looking at tubs, little racks.
Maybe it's the way this is on here. Let me move this real quick. Oh, he's still there, trust me. He ain't turned off no food response or nothing, I'm sure. And he can't be hungry. That's another thing about this one. This group. These blackheads was crazy. Okay, you can see him now. You see him?
No.
Oh, you know why, Morgan? Because I got the phone where TikTok is. Duh. You on the phone.
I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, I'm missing something. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Darren said a 9:05 time check. It's in the budget to keep the show going. Thank you. Thank you, Darren.
There you go. You see him now?
Yeah, see him. Yeah, he looks like he's ready to come out.
Oh, he's about to strike. If I got closer, he might try to strike my face. He's looking right at me. So, as y'all saw, that didn't happen with the 16-foot snakes in the upper room. Right. So, FYI, this is why I get so offended when people talk about how ornery retics are, because they're not. Mm-hmm. They are actually better behaved than every other species of animal.
Somebody told me, somebody told me to my face this past week that there's no reason to go from a ball python to a reticulated python unless you were exploiting the retic and only using it for social media purposes. And there's no difference between having a ball python and a retic, but people only get retics to look like a badass or whatever. And I was just sitting there like my eye was like twitching, and I was like,
you know what? I agree with that to an extent, because I have a YouTube channel on that. I have a YouTube video.
Do you?
I sure do. And when I first got into retics, let me tell you why I agree. And I'll say
I look at my ball python and I look at my retics, and they're so different.
So they're different in the sense of size, but a snake is a snake. That wild snake that I found in my garage the other day was as docile as the snakes that I keep. The only reason why I wanted the hell out of here is because it was not one of the snakes I keep. But when I tell you that snake acted like me coming at it, it was the same intent thing. Snakes are snakes. Now, What I agree with is that no, a ball python and a retic is not the same animal. What I'm talking about, what I agree with is that some people do get it just for the shock value, and you can see.
Oh yeah. And now I see that it's like some people do that, but what they were saying was everybody that has a retic or a berm, that's the only reason you would have one. And I was like, absolutely not.
Somebody say that, send them to my page. If you go from my beginning, I only started a YouTube channel, y'all, to show people that retics was nothing that I was told that they were. Right. You did not see people before Nicole Tisdale, before Lady Tiz Exotics. I'll say it over and over again. I don't care how many people y'all see now. Okay, showing y'all that retics don't harm people on a daily basis, that retics can be managed in a very kind way, that retics are very loving animals. Until Nicole Tisdale started putting those YouTube videos out, you can go back and see. Before Nicole, all you saw was people pulling eggs and snakes jumping out at them. Before Nicole,
because that gets views. That's the shock factor, but that's not reality for everybody.
Show you that you can touch this, the pie. You'll never be able to handle that pie. From day one that pie came in here, y'all see videos of nothing but him being handled. You just saw him being the most chill snake right now. So I started the YouTube page only for the retics. It wasn't supposed to go as deep as it went. It was only for the retics that I started the YouTube page, to show people that these animals were nothing that people were claiming they are. Period.
Right. Yeah, that's what somebody else told me when I first got a retic. They said they were like, oh, I've had retics before, and they all, once they hit adult age, they all turn on you. And I was like, no. If a snake is gonna if they just change their behavior, they're missing something. You fucked up somewhere. You're not giving them what they need. Because I don't care if it's a snake, a dog, a cat. A cat actually will.
I love both.
But yes, these animals are not just going to turn on you and start striking at you just because they hit adult age.
So in my experience, all of my retics, and you heard me say it, they got better and better as they got older. So now they're like little dogs. They'll follow me and stuff like that.
Maki says the main reason I got one because of how puppy dog they are. Yes, they're sweet.
But Maki, you wouldn't have known that if I never showed you that. And that's the thing. A lot of people would have never known that if they never saw that. Because I think a lot of times, especially the men in the hobby, they felt ego-driven by these snakes. And then that's why a lot of the men in the hobby couldn't stand me, because you saw this woman come and show that you're not sweating that hanging that hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and y'all know who y'all are. Shout out to the ones who are very supportive and always from day one who supported me, and they know who they are too. But yeah, that was the thing. And they were still waiting for the day that, oh, wait till she breed them. She gonna die and all this other stuff. And then I show you that even breeding them, the damn snakes give me the eggs. They hand me the eggs. So it's all in how you view these animals. And if you think that they only have small, like even right now, as I hold this baby retic and I hold it gently, I'm at this baby ball python and I hold it gently. I love this snake. So this is one of my, y'all know this is my, as of today, my favorite animal that I created. The one animal that I wanted to produce that used to be a dream animal of mine that Aussie Boys created a few years ago. I created myself. And this is my OG leopard yellow belly asphalt clown. And he is gorgeous. Y'all got to see, his eyes are even orange. He is so gorgeous. Right, man? I'm going to put you back.
I love my one ball python. Absolutely love her. Would never sell her. She's my baby. But she is so different than the retics. It's not... I find so much enjoyment. I find like companionship with the ball python, but I get so much more enjoyment from the retics, just from their personality, curiosity, and like Maki said, how a puppy dog they are. They're very curious babies.
Stan, we can't wait to see y'all all either. We're going to hey Ro, we're going to Universal when we get in, after we pick up the rental car before we come to Daytona. So I know we'll see some of y'all there too. People talk smack now. Swear I'm gonna get wrapped up. Liu Kang is, you won't get wrapped up by none of mine unless you do something that that made him like you would never. That won't ever happen. Your snake was never a defensive snake. Even out the egg, he was I told you, he just spoiled. He just wanted to be loved on all day, every day. Your retic was the perfect retic for you. Like he just want love. That's all he want. He ain't bite nobody. He want his food. He ain't even that mean with his food. He just like, I'm gonna eat my food, get out my way. But after that, we back in love again. He is he was one of the sweetest babies out the egg. I don't think
that's how Nikita is too. She's only struck one time, and it's because my pit bull mix like walked in front of her. Other than that, like after that, it was the first time she'd ever seen that dog. After that, like she's fine with it. She knows how everything is.
Exactly. I'm about to plug my phone up in a second, but hanging in. I'll probably go grab one. So this one was actually a all white snake when it was born. And of course, it has champagne in the pairing. The champagne with the leopard, the OD is making it turn with these paradoxes in those orange colors coming through. So it gets more and more paradox as it gets older. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna start the sono in a minute. I just wanted to show TikTok a couple snakes.
You're fine.
This is another one of my favorite creations. This is my banana odium yellow belly pod.
Oh man, Serpent Nerd said a lot of people get snakes for the shock value and not to educate people. That's why I'm happy to have people like Nicole in the hobby to show people how docile snakes really are. I agree. I think a lot of people do get them for shock value and get on social media for attention, things like that. I got on mainly to show people that it's not what people think it is. Snakes are not these evil creatures. They're not, out to eat anybody and everybody. And then showing, that I can kiss most of my snakes on the top of their head. I can read any one of my snakes at any given time. I keep several different species. And it's never, I bring people in my house all the time and they all leave shocked because they're like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like your snakes are actually very sweet. I don't know. I like doing stuff like that, but these are my pets first. I had them long before I had social media. But I think for the main reason I got on social media, I kept snakes for a decade before I got on social media, but I always kept it hidden. People would come in my house. They didn't know I kept snakes. They didn't know. So now people see and they're like, oh, well, when did you start getting into this? As a teenager. I've had them for a long time. You just never knew, but I always felt kind of ashamed, embarrassed to keep them because of the stigma around it.
All gonna be broken today.
So that was my main reason for getting on social media and opening up more about snakes and kind of documenting what I do, and showing other people, especially either getting into the hobby or people that have been in the hobby. So, and from doing so, I've met so many awesome people like Nicole, Maki. I haven't met most of them in person, but just communicating with people. I've met Elias. It's been amazing. I've learned a lot from all these people, even though I've been in the hobby for years. I've learned a lot from connecting with other people that have similar animals.
All right, so
it pisses me off when people come back and they're like, this is the only reason to be on social media. This is the only reason you'd have this kind of animal. Somebody tried to sell me a crocodile, a whole fucking crocodile a few weeks ago. That is one thing. Unless you're working with that animal and training it and putting in some serious work. The only reason to have a crocodile, not crocodilian, because I do want a dwarf caiman, but like I'm talking about like a Nile crocodile. That's for clout. There is no reason to have that animal.
Right. Well, I don't know. I want an alligator. Not for
if you're working with it and like doing like training, if it has a purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
So any animal I have, and so that's one of the things. I will never keep an animal that I feel like I can't, like even a green tree. We got to communicate, bro. Like at some point, like we can't just go living like this. And so it was a thing where, you know, you can be mean as old as you want, but we're gonna learn how to coexist. I can't have like animals that like that's why I don't keep venomous. I think king cobras are so beautiful.
See, I would love venomous. Now, king cobra, they're too damn smart. They're too damn smart. I just couldn't. But I would love to keep venomous. That's where my passion began, was with the native venomous species in my area.
That's exactly what I love about them, though. I'm trying to
but I'm not free handling
over here, so y'all can see it a little bit. I might sonogram one of the girls while I got it out.
Serpent Nerd said his one boa doesn't strike his food. He crawls up to it and gently starts to eat.
Oh,
that's how my scrub python is. Everyone thinks, oh, scrubs are aggressive. Scrubs are, they're coming in hot all the time. That's how my scrub eats. She slowly opens her mouth. She's never struck at me. To get me to go away, she pees on me. That's it. She doesn't strike. Oh, I love showing how different snakes are, especially different species. Especially when there's a big like stigma behind it. People say, oh, this is always how it's going to be. No.
All right. So 2 things I'm going to do before I show the sonogram. Hey, Chris. I have to check these eggs anyway. Look, frankly, I love when people tell me I'll never come to your house. Good. I didn't want you here anyway. Right.
Right.
This is not the place you need to show up at anyway.
I love it when my family comes over because they don't like snakes at all. And so I host all the family holidays and stuff. And whenever I'm ready for people to leave, I'll pull out a rat or pull out a snake.
So for my TikTok family, behind me is the incubator. This is where we incubate the reptile eggs, and you'll see several eggs in there. It's incubating now. More coming in there hopefully before I go to Daytona. And these are due any day now, so I'm checking them real fast. They really dimpled pretty good, except for one. So these are the next eggs to be cut. This is the acid combo. And I don't know, y'all. I might cut these for y'all right now. I am. All but one.
You're gonna cut them right now?
Yeah. All but one is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna do it. I want to hopefully have them crawl out before we go to Daytona. So, because they don't move a lot in the shedding process. So I'm hoping they do it before then, but we're gonna cut. Let me get set up real fast. And I'm gonna sit. Probably can sit this one up there. Yeah. Bear with me.
So your first time cutting eggs, were you nervous that you were going to cut a snake?
You can feel it. You can feel where the snake at. You can feel it.
Yeah, I couldn't with the black razor eggs. I couldn't. Thankfully, like they all pipped on their own. With those things, I came in and they were like striking at each other, like going. They were not like captive bred snakes. Those things were little psychos. They're trying to eat each other.
Racist, right?
Huh?
That's why they call them racist, right?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's why they call them racers.
Yes, yeah, they're black racers, so they're the fastest snakes in the South. They eat other snakes. And they come out so incredibly tiny. So they were like getting stuck in like the vent holes. And so after like 24 hours, I was like, oh, y'all are gone. Y'all got to get it. It was fun. It was fun to keep them. But I didn't want them getting used to human interaction. I had a lot of people trying to come to my house, wanting to see them, handle them. And I was like, no, these are wild snakes. They've got to go back to the wild. I'm having a hard time hearing you. I think you're too far away. I need to make a Instagram video about the whole process of like how I got these eggs and all that.
All right, y'all. So we get ready to cut these eggs. They are on day 56. All but one is pretty. Well, one is pretty full. The pairing was. Can you hear me, Morgan?
Yes, I can hear you.
I wish I could have this closer.
I know.
It's probably a way I could. Let me see if I move this one. As you can see, my help is asleep. Let me see if I can move some of this and just put it over here. All right, that's closer. All right, that's probably as close as I'm gonna get it. Let me see if I can fit the box underneath and make it a little higher. Both of you in both places. Go ahead, Bosa. Lean, I be trying to be on my other channel. I don't get a chance to see you that much, so I've been trying to flip back and forth. Unless you just haven't been on, because I haven't seen you pop up. Yes, new babies. All right, so the pairing was, what was the pairing on this one? Lord Jesus, hammer. Oh, the acid, black pastel. What I do with the daggone fire, butter fire, with the, yeah, it was with lethal, the acid black pastel butter fire, to Ari, which was the Ari pastel concept pie. So all I wanted out of this clutch was acid combo. So if I get any form of an acid combo, I'm good. I'm happy and I'm good. I'm doing good, mama. Road work in both stations too. Love y'all. I love my support. You hear me? Y'all on YouTube and here. I wish I could find my skinny scissors. I just had them the other day. Let me go look in the other one. Because I hate cutting with these.
That's exciting. This makes me want to, I don't want to be a breeder, but I do want to breed, at least I'm curious. I want to breed my golden child super dwarf to my super tiger super dwarf. Maybe in like a year or two, just to kind of see what comes of it.
All right.
It's exciting.
Cutting.
So what are these retics or?
Oh, these are ball pythons. Oh, girl, retic A is way bigger than this.
I don't know. From looking at the black racer eggs that were the size of my pinky nail, these are pretty big.
All right, so I'm being extra careful. Let's cut it open a little bit. This one looks, I can't really tell because I can't see the head, but it definitely looks like it could be, it's definitely fire. I can see the fire. I can see the yellow belly. Oh, look at it moving. I think this is acid, yellow belly, fire. We'll see when it comes out. I don't see the black pastel. Oh, but it's beautiful. Y'all probably can't see it too good on the camera, but he's moving, so I don't want to move him around too much. Oh, buddy. Here we go. So yeah, definitely black pastel. Look like it got yellow belly, and I meant acid, yellow belly, and fire probably in that one. Y'all can see it too. He moving around, nice and juicy. All right, the next one. Let's see. Let me pop this last nail off if I can, because it is in the way. I don't think I can. I think it's still on there. Yeah, it is. Where is my little scissors when I need them?
So how many ball pythons do you have in total?
I don't even count. Once they start having babies, I stop counting. Over 100. Yes, definitely over 100. Breeding pairs, it's definitely 68 now.
Oh wow. That's a lot. I sometimes I get overwhelmed with like what I have, even though they don't require like
totally different. Oh, this is gorgeous. We're not gonna. This is definitely acid. Still up there. Oh, definitely yellow belly. You can see it in his tail. Just gonna let him chill. I can't tell everything he is yet. Definitely acid. So the first two, I think, definitely is acid. That's all I wanted was the acid combo. So they definitely got acid in, and you can see the acid clearly.
So when will they come all the way out?
So typically, you probably see one pick their head out the next day or two, and then all of them will start crawling out after that one. Once one come out, the other one kind of, it seems like it stimulates the other one to me. The other ones.
Yeah.
But they should all be at least coming out before we go to Daytona.
I think so. So you have a berm.
Clutch.
Berm's ready to hatch.
Yep. They should hatch while we are in Daytona or around.
So are you going to cut those this week, or are you going to wait for them to?
I'm gonna wait for those because I'm only cutting these because I kind of want to force them out because I don't want them to have to cut the rest of them while I'm in Daytona. And once one pip, I don't like the other ones to sit in the egg. It makes me nervous. What I'm doing is I'm cutting so the remaining egg yolk in there stays in there. I'm not cutting it too big. Oh, this is gorgeous. This has to have black pastel and acid. Yeah, I think this has black pastel and acid. I can't see nothing else in it right now. Could be butter. But it's gorgeous. All right, let's see. I'm going to cut that one last. This one's real juicy. I want to be extra careful, but the snake is all the way up here too. Good Jesus. I really need my other scissors. There we go. That's why you got to be careful when the snake is like literally right there. And then I pull up. So I know that I'm pulling away from it. Like pull up into the egg. And I don't do no, as y'all can see how some people do that quick cut. I don't do it. It just makes me nervous to do that. I just feel like sometimes these snakes actually do be moving or be ready to come out. And I don't want to actually be doing a quick cut and it cuts right into where it decides it's going to come out at. Let's see.
That would make me so nervous. I'm so paranoid. Nicole, how long does it take to confidently identify different morphs and ball pythons?
For me, what you mean, like forever? You're never going to be perfect. You're going to always have to, like, it's no way. Like, you can get good at it, but you're going to always have questions. Now, once they out of the egg, I can identify them pretty good. But I work with combos now that, like, I know what the results look like. But it's hard. If you're not working with a gene, you don't know, because it looks different in different combos. So it takes years. You got people like Ozzy will tell you, I believe it to be, and he's been breeding for what, 30 years, 20, 25.
Yeah,
So you just can't
that
really
makes sense.
always tell. But you get good at doing the base genes.
That was the question from Darren. That's something ball python morphs are, I don't know.
You just have to, when you start to breed, you start to see what different things look like in different parents.
So I'm in several like Facebook groups now with people selling things, and I can pick out a few things, but for the most part, no.
I don't see any acid in that one. I just see black pastel, maybe butter and fire. But again, you won't be able to tell until they come out the egg. Let me wipe my hand. Let's open this last one, which is the big one. This one is definitely acid. This one is definitely acid. The good thing is there's no all white snakes in here, so, which was, always a risk when you're doing yellow belly to yellow belly or super yellow belly to yellow belly. Yes, woohoo! Woo! This is the all gene, I think. Can't tell until it come out, but this is definitely acid. This is definitely black pastel. This is definitely butter. Definitely fire. Only thing I can't see really yet is the yellow belly. Actually, y'all, this one is huge. Y'all can probably see this one clear because he's so big. He's taking up this whole egg. All right.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Much. Let's show it to TikTok. He's beautiful. So we'll wait till they climb out to see what they are. I know I can definitely tell we got at least 1, 2, 3 for sure, possible 4 acid combos. I don't think it's only one that doesn't have acid in it. Everything else definitely is an acid combo for sure. Yeah, and that's what I wanted. But this one is, I can't wait to see what that is. So let me get them back into the incubator since they open, and then we're going to close the show with a sonogram. I'll pull one of the snakes that I know have eggs in her or is developing. So we're going to put them back. They'll eventually suck the rest of their juice up and come out in the next couple days.
Suck that juice up. I don't know why it grosses me out.
Peace and Pet says it's immediate. It's the gene, so it's there. Some become more easy to see as they grow. Agreed. Oh God, we in labor. I cannot with Ducky. We in labor, Ducky. Thanks, Vaughn. All right, so we're gonna do a sonogram real fast. See, this has worked out with TikTok and doing the show at the same time, because I get fussed at about not doing my TikToks on Mondays, but I'd be like, I do a show every Monday. All right.
I've been bad about not being on TikTok Live or.
Girl, I've been so busy doing my makeup lives, having such a
maybe I'll do one this week.
Yeah, but I do like some lives. I just think that they've been, because this is breeding season. They've been quick lives. So, all right, we're gonna turn this around this way. If Michael was here, this would be so much easier. But it's Monday morning. He ain't waking up this early. I'm gonna put the mouse over here because I'm gonna have to hold the snake in my hand because Michael's not here.
Ooh, I'm about to drop my whole laptop.
And the tool that I'm using now is the contact. I love it. It works for me. I like to change the frequency on mine. Was a tip that I got from hold on. 12 Exotic when I interviewed him on Reptiles and Cocktails, and I have stuck to that since.
No. I'm struggling over here.
We're gonna put the frequency on 10.
Oh, is it 840?
Let's see if okay.
Oh,
Right, I got it on the screen. Can y'all see? Yeah, y'all can see the screen too. I'm gonna move.
Yeah.
I might turn this light out so you don't see the reflection. So hold on 1 second. Okay, this is the aquasonic gel we're gonna use. Same thing we use for the mamas, you know, us women when we go. Same thing the doctors use. Let me go grab a snake. Dynasty, mama.
Whew. I'll be right back.
I know. All right, so we're gonna sonogram her because I know she's building. So we're gonna take it and just put a little on there. Got it on the machine too. Don't fall. I normally would do this with her laying down, but I'm doing this by myself, so it's going to be easier for me to do it with her in my hand. Okay. Now I'm going towards the last third of her body where her follicles is going to go, and they're going to show up right after. Let me come back around here. Let me turn that light out. I'm sorry, Mama. Where is it? It's on this side. Okay. Yeah, that'll be better. And the other one I'm going to turn away just so y'all can see the screen a little better. Okay. Come on, Mama. So if you're looking at the screen right now, I can already find one follicle right there. If you can see that big circle, it's a chain of circles. I need her to stay still real fast. Move your tail. Okay, I'm gonna let her go over there a little bit. Maybe she'll stay still enough for me to get it. There we go. Stay. This would be so much easier with Michael. There we go. So here's the change of her chain of her follicles. Y'all can see them right there. And I'll measure them. I can freeze this and measure them. Stay still, girl. Look, she want to move. She has to stay still for y'all to see her. But my son is asleep, so I can't get her held still. Come on. Come on. Stay right there. If you can stay right there, I got him. Girl. She was not staying still. Okay. Hold on. What I can try to do is put her head under something that'll kind of make her stay still. Just throw a pillow on her head real fast. All right, let's see if she stays still. Nope, she's moving the whole thing now. Girl. Michael. Michael's here. Come over real fast. Come on. Hold her real fast so I can sonogram her real fast. You got it? I'm going to put some more gel on it because she done. Took it all. Okay. Michael's here, so I can get it now better. But she won't move as much because he'll be holding her. You?
That happened last week too. How much did you pay for your sonogram machine? Where'd you get it from?
100 off of Amazon.
Nice. Okay. You just that's interesting. I was saying earlier, like I want to breed at least once, just to. I don't think I want to be a breeder, but I would love.
So y'all can see she's full of eggs right now.
I can't see nothing.
I think it's clear on TikTok than it is for you. Let me move the computer over this a little bit more.
Today, yes.
It's showing TikTok your screen. So let me turn your screen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
A little bit more. Okay. So on your screen, it's clear now.
So do the snakes, do they get bothered by this at all, or?
Now when they get if she's as these eggs grow and she gets bigger, she'll become agitated when I pick her up, but not like, not crazy. I gotta, Michael, can you hit freeze when I get him again? With her. Oops. I'll tell you when. Right about, wait a minute, hold on. Not yet. Don't reach yet because I don't want to move the screen. I'll tell you when to reach. You see how big they are right there? Let me just, I'm trying not to press too much on her. But I want you to get it from the other side. All right, Mama, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's not where the chain was. It's up here. There we go. Soon as she moved, soon as I did it. They right here. Freeze. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, because she moved. When you move forward, she moved. Hold on. Let me get I want a good picture because I want to measure that big one. That bigger one. They're pretty much off the chain. I mean, off the screen again. I think she's about ready to go. Okay, stay right there. You see where she's pulling? They're right there, but she's moving. I need her to stay still. Put her head under your shirt. It's normally not this difficult because she just normally would be laying in her enclosure, but she is on a move this morning. And then they right, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get that one that's next to the after the gallbladder. Hold on. Wait a minute, Mike, where your hand? See, I lost. So when I say don't reach until I say reach, okay? Because when you reach, she moves. There we go. Go ahead, reach. Yeah, go ahead. All right. Wipe her down and you can put her back because she's staying there. All right. So yeah, it's just blurry for them, but you can see all of the chain of follicles are right here for her. She actually has 2 rows. She has a row here and a row here. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 right there. So we'll continue to pair her. She's actually going to the acid boy too. So she's a Mojave red stripe het ghost, and she's also going to that black pastel acid butterfire. You can put her back, Michael. And I'll let y'all see the mermaids so you can see how big they are before we go. Let me move this to the side.
Darren said, great show. We enjoyed the long podcast. The ultrasound egg cutting, we did not budget for this. It was not in the budget, Nicole.
Not in the budget. Okay.
We're going to have to speak to HR about it.
I'll show y'all a couple of the mermaids.
Meanwhile, I've got Nikki up here pushing plants around.
Let's See how big they are compared. Hold this, Michael.
Are these the berms?
Yeah, these are the Burn eggs. Some of them. It's a couple pounds because they don't fit in one. But these are the Burn eggs.
Okay, yeah.
Let me tilt it down.
Exciting.
Let's see how big
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
much bigger.
Yeah. And like this one is huge. Like I
Yeah.
normally won't pick them up, but they're pretty much formed. Like if you peek in this egg, you can see the full snake.
Wow.
That's right.
I liked like handling the snake eggs.
Oh, that's the fun part. I like to see their progress. I handle them throughout their processes so I can see which stage. That's why I can tell you right now that these are fully formed, because when you candle these, you can't really candle burn eggs clearly when the eggs are newer, but as they mature, you get to see the snake way more.
Yeah, it's an exciting process. I messed up. I think. Yeah, it's an exciting process.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I mean, again, breeding is not always perfect. I've had pretty much perfect seasons so far, but you have your ups and downs. Like y'all remember Crooklyn? Let's get Crooklyn. Crooklyn just ate, but she's getting so big. Hey, Crooklyn, hi, mama. Come on, mama. So this is the one that was born last year with the crook in her neck. She's of course will never be sold. She'll stay with me forever. But this is why you don't immediately euthanize them just because they have a defect. Because as you can see, she's thriving. She's now on small rats.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the gift. She eats really, really well. She's spoiled. So I'm a little spoiled because mama check on me all the time. But if y'all can see, she has a crook in her neck. She's not holding her neck like that. Her neck can't move any other way. It's a crook right there. And it was something that happened with her in the egg that occurred. She's a beautiful orange dream, odium, yellow belly, het pied. But I won't breed her, although breeding her might be fine. I won't breed her or sell her. I have a female, her sister, who is identical to her. I'll show you her, and she has no defect at all. So we'll just use her for purposes of breeding. I gotta watch her because she can be a little moody. Come on, mama. All right. So here's the sister. Come on, so here's both of them side by side. So this is the one with the defect, and this is the one without it. But they're the same identical snake. As you can see, they was from the same clutch. So this one I would breed, of course, because she has no defects. This one I'll just keep as a pet forever and as long as she lives. But when you're breeding animals, it's life. And I'm not a breeder who says, oh, because I can't sell you, you're not worth it to me. No, you may not be worth it to somebody else, but to me, because I brought you into this world, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life. All right. And I think you showed the temp gun earlier, right?
We did, yeah.
So, and the temp gun was the only other thing that I had that I wanted to make sure I point out: the sonogram, the temp gun, the easy hash trace. One day I'll do a show where we'll just focus on the breeding aspect of keeping the animals, like all of the things, the steps that we go through. At what point do we decide to breed and all that other type of stuff for those who may be interested. I'm almost a 2-hour part. My nephew, y'all mess. Look. Y'all, Darren, you wanted detail. We gave you a detailed show.
Right. I do need to hop off of here, though. I got to leave here. I only have like 5 minutes.
2 lives on Monday morning. We gave you my YouTube live. And if you're not follow the YouTube, Miss Exotics. We go live, me and Miss Exotics, every Monday with different reptile subjects, education. We go off on life tangents, then why you shouldn't divorce your husband, or we go to all that kind of stuff. Whatever. We don't know what's going to go down, be all kinds of shenanigans, but you can check us out there. For my ladies, if you're not following Nikki T MUE, That's where all of the makeup content is now. And I'm transferring a lot of the creator content over there as well. To kind of like isolate Lady T's Exotics to just the animals for my animal loving people. Because most of those, 7,000 followers, out of 7,000 followers, I would say at least 6,000 of them are here for the animals. So we are able to go live on Nikki T MUE, and I've been going live there. So check that one out. And we will continue. Thank you, Chris. Chris, see you in a few days in better weather and water, and we'll be turned up. So I'll be seeing Chris in Daytona in a few days and getting ready for our good time. Bosa, hope to see you. I know I'll see Orlando and Terrell there. I think I said Tim. I think we'll see you there. Fred, are you there? In Daytona. Look, everybody, if you are in Daytona, I am going to spend more time at the show this time, but I'll still be on the beach. So if you don't see me at the show, you can find me on the beach because we're in Daytona. Where else should I be? All right. Love y'all. Morgan, love you. Have an amazing day. Look, frankly, I love when people tell me I'll never come to your house. Oh, I missed that one. I saw that one.
Yeah. All right. I got to hop out of here. I will see y'all later. Y'all have
Bye. See y'all later. Everybody have an amazing day. See y'all later. Darren, thank you for the topic. All right. TikTok.